What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Crystal, and I am back with another not really review this time. This time, I'm going to start a new segment called The More You Know, where I dig up some videos from behind the scenes of my favorite TV shows or movies or plays. Just little fun facts. I'm a nerd, so I love things like this, like who was supposed to be this person, or who came in to read for this person, or why didn't this person get the gig? I want to know those things. So I'm going to kick it off. My first episode about the more you know about Scandal and Olivia Pope and who could have been. So Shonda Rhimes was recently on Sway in the Morning, and she discussed her top three choices, who it came down to be. And I was very surprised, as I think you will be too. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and let's watch to see who was her top three, y'all.
So you mentioned in the Scandal Rewatch podcast that your top three choices to play Olivia, Carolyn Pope was Kerry Washington, Anika Noni Rose, and Jill Scott. So I'm wondering, knowing that the chemistry between Kerry and Toni was undeniable, do you think that the chemistry would have been as palpable or believable if Anika or Jill was Olivia Pope?
That's a really good question. They're
Really
both
good question.
amazing actresses. But what happens for me when I cast somebody is, and I think I said a little bit about this before, I cast somebody and that adds or changes what I'm writing in a script.
Mhm.
You know, the show would have been very clearly three different shows with each one of those actresses.
Mhm.
And I was excited about all the versions. Carrie and Tony's chemistry is, I mean, you don't ever see that.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. So for me, that was like lightning in a bottle. You don't get that kind of chemistry
Mhm.
going on from their very first moment filming together.
Wow, y'all. Who knew that? Raise your hand. I didn't. I thought that was so cool. Like, can you imagine? I the When I first saw this clip, I was like, okay. I know Carrie always talks about all of Hollywood, all the black women came out for this role. And what was it? Well, it filmed, I think it dropped in what, 2012 or something like that. So I'm sure people were brought in maybe from 2010, 2011. It had been 37 years since a black woman led a drama series in prime time. We know our legend, Diane Carroll, was the last one. So everybody in Hollywood came out to this. I'm sure the Gabrielle Unions, the Jada Pinkett's, the Regina Halls, both of them. I'm sure Shonda saw everybody. She says she saw everybody. And that's a shame because that means not enough work was being put around in Hollywood. So all these black women gravitated towards this pilot. And for all of those women, it came down to these three: Carrie, Anika Noni Rose, and Jill Scott. I would have never thought Jill, because I know Jill's amazing actress, but I just know her really from her music a lot. You know, I know she was in Why Did I Get Married? She did her own version of Steel Magnolias, I believe, on Lifetime. So I know she's a really good actress, but her as Olivia Pope, I never would have thought that she would have even thought to read for this. Um, I need Shonda to drop the audition tapes. I just do it. Everybody is doing well. Can we see the audition tapes, Shonda? I want to see them in the white suit doing the chemistry read. I just want to see it. I think we saw Carrie's chemistry read. So I think if you have the DVD of the first season, I have it because I'm a diehard fan, but I think it was like in the behind the scenes cuts or something like that. We saw Quinn's, well, Katie, who played Quinn, her reaction to not being able to chemistry read because she booked the role and she was like crying, and it was just such a beautiful moment. And I think Carrie's chemistry test is on tape too, where she's in the cell with the gentleman that doesn't want to come out as gay, the soldier, if you guys remember from that pilot season, Sweet Baby. Um, what do y'all think about this? I have my feelings. I don't think anyone in the world could have played Olivia better than Kerry Washington. I think it was written for her. Taraji even said it, that she came in to read for, and she was like, "This is written in Kerry Washington's voice," and I agree. It's just the way, the pace, the vulnerability of Olivia. Because there are three sides. She was definitely three-dimensional. Olivia had to be strong-willed. She had to be a badass in the courtroom, or just being this badass fixer. But she also had to be a friend as well to the Cyruses, to the Mellies. Well, later on, not in the beginning, but from that pilot, she had to be a savage. She had to be a negotiator. She had to be a boss to her team, but also toward the end, where the sweet baby reveal comes, she had to be vulnerable. She had to rip down everything. She had to take off the mask that was Olivia Pope and be with Fitz in that moment that she realized that he had ultimately cheated on her with, Amanda Tanner. And I don't know if anyone else could have done that besides Carrie. There was a heartbreak in that scene. If you guys go back to Sweet Baby, that oval scene at the end where she's like, "Is he here?" And the assistant or somebody is like, "All right, he'll be in just a moment." And the look on her face when he walks in and he was like, "Can we get the room, please?" And Cyrus is like, "We have to be out in like 5 minutes." He was like, "We need the room." And she just her eyes are so watery. She's so heartbreaking. And she's like, "Sweet baby." Like, you called this thought, "Sweet baby," your nickname for me. Like, what are we doing? So, or well, your nickname for the ring that, he gave her. But it's like, I need to see those audition tapes. My nosy self wants to know what Jill did on that screen, because I love that Shonda said all of them were great, but that would have been three different storylines. And the one that she really wanted to write, obviously, Carrie did. And I think also what maybe had put Carrie over the top is that Carrie was very politically savvy at the time. She had just come off of, I think, the DNC committee, like she was speaking around. She was on the Obama campaign. She was speaking at these DNC conventions and things. So I think the political, just being able to talk that with Shonda so effortlessly, I think put her one notch over Anika and Jill. I have no doubt in my mind that Anika would have killed it. No doubt. Soon as Shonda said, I was like, "Yep, she would have bodied that." Uh, 'Cause she has that thing. She has that power dynamic. She has that. I think when was Anika a dean on the quad or something? Like, she had that power thing to rule over people. Um, she has a little bit of that fixer thing in her, but it's like that chemistry between Carrie and Tony is like, whew, it was so bad. If y'all remember, the tabloids thought they was really like having an affair. It's like, no, they're just really good actors. Like, everybody doesn't have to, have this well, all pun intended, this scandal going on behind the scenes. They were just really good actors and they trust each other. I think that's the thing. When your partner comes in, and Terry talked about that on the Scandal podcast, um, with Katie and um and Huck, is like, you cannot beat chemistry. When you show up in that room and you just look into each other's eyes and you trust each other to go there to places that are uncomfortable, whatever, and that person has your back and that you're safe with them, it's all good. And she talked about boundaries. Like, they both had boundaries, even though they were doing these salacious scenes and things like that. They both had boundaries, and I think that's wonderful. And you don't always get that when you have to pry somebody to be present in a scene with you. As a theater actor myself, I've been there, where it's like, oh my God, it's like pulling teeth to get what I need from you. But when you walk into a space and it's like, "Look, we're going to do this thing. You are safe with me. Let's do it. Feel free to be vulnerable. You are safe. And we're going to check in with each other after these crazy, emotional, vulnerable scenes." You have something. And I think that's what Tony and Carrie had. And these are the facts. Like, when they were on screen together, you felt something in your heart. Like, even though you knew Olivia and Fitzy did not, to me, were not good for each other, but it's like, man, you still rooted for them. You still rooted for them because of that chemistry, that they trusted each other. And bravo to Carrie, because sis, I think Shonda even said earlier, like you weren't really on her radar, like you came in, you were all of this, but then you just blew her away talking about politics and then of course the talent that you have. So bravo to you. Anika and Jill, like I want to hear y'all stories. Can y'all come out and do an interview and say what the process was like? Like Jill, man, as Olivia Pope. Can you imagine? Like Jill Scott, let's take a long walk around. Yeah, I'm not a singer, but can you imagine? Like that's dope. That's so dope. Shout out to Shonda for giving us a little nugget and for that caller for bringing that up because I had no idea and it made me go and listen to that Scandal podcast where she talked more in depth about that. So, what are some other fun facts that you would like me to maybe research or anything like that? Let me know in the comments. And tell me what you thought. Like, could you see Anika or Jill as Olivia Pope? Or did Carrie just like, she bodied that role? We all knew it's certain things. People were born to play certain things, right? Angela was born to play Tina Turner. Denzel was born to be Malcolm X. Jamie Foxx was born to be Ray. And I think Kerry Washington was born to be Olivia Pope. But shout out to that fun fact. And catch me next time on another episode of The More You Know. See you later, YouTube. Peace.